Government can't resist the temptation to stick a wrench in the machine. And most of us have seen that movie before. Anyone feeling deja vu? Hello, everybody. It's Mike on Mike. That was a video that I did a couple of months ago about the coming issues with the Obamacare replacement. Now, liberals generally look to government to solve problems. Conservatives believe in personal responsibility, limited government, and free markets. That's why I found it funny that these morning hosts were marveling at the wonders of the free market, likely not realizing that the same principle applies to everything that is bought or sold, including healthcare.
For example, this tomato basil sauce we found here used to be $1.19 a jar. Now, a few months later, it is 99 cents a jar.
We're not complaining. Why is this happening now, though, Rebecca?
Yes, why is this happening now?
So the reason this is happening now, Robin, is that there's more competition from those companies like the Amazons and the Walmarts of the world that have gotten into the grocery game. And you're seeing these deals all over the place. We found eggs at Costco. A year ago, 18 eggs at Costco would have run you $3.61. Now, that same container of eggs is $1.79. And at Safeway, we found steaks, New York strip steaks, for less than $5 a pound. This is all about competition. Everybody's trying to undercut everybody else on price and make that experience something that the shopper wants to come and enjoy.
The problem is you only get these benefits when the government backs out of the equation and you take responsibility to provide yourself with the service or product you've been asking of government. Which brings us to the replacement bill. Does the Obamacare replacement really remove the burden of the disastrous Affordable Care Act from us, or does it just change the party who has to own it?
First, the American Health Care Act goes through, and then this second set of legislation comes on. You're chuckling.
That ain't going to happen. It's their so-called three-bucket solution, which is all the good stuff is in bucket three. Bucket three takes 8 Democrats. Right now, Senate Democrats are opposing everything. You can't get 8 Senate Democrats to agree on saying good morning. Anything in bucket three, I've called bucket three the sucker's bucket.
Why does this ring so true? Because in my entire adult life, I've been hearing, wait for it. Most recently, as it relates to Obamacare, Philip Klein of the Washington Examiner tweeted this. Pretty accurate timeline, if you ask me. But you see, this is nothing new. Reagan battled Congress for spending cuts during the 1980s. The Democrat-dominated Congress promised if he would just raise taxes, they would cut spending. He agreed. The tax increases came instantly. Spending cuts never came. In case some of us forgot, here is what the president has had in mind for some time. We can see this reflected in the replacement bill as presented by Paul Ryan. Here is Trump on his intent.
Let me ask you about Obamacare, which you say you're going to repeal and replace. When you replace it, are you going to make sure that people with preconditions are still covered?
Yes, because it happens to be one of the strongest assets.
You're going to keep that?
Also, with the children living with their parents for an extended period, you're going to keep very
that?
much try and keep that. Adds cost, but it's very much something we're going to try and keep.
We know that the Trump plan contains a number of things that make it impossible to get rid of the individual mandate. Here's Rand Paul to drill down on that point.
Program they're putting forward, Obamacare Light, they're going to keep half as much as what Obamacare had presented, but they're not going to fix the fundamental problem of Obamacare. The fundamental problem of Obamacare is the insurance mandates. When you mandate what has to be insurance, it elevates the price. And when you tell people they can buy insurance after they're sick, they will, and you get what's called adverse selection. And so the adverse selection, the death spiral that everybody's talking about, will continue under the Paul Ryan plan. And my fear is that a year from now, people are going to come back and we're going to have all the same arguments again, that insurance premiums are still going through the roof and we still have a mess.
Despite the problems with the replacement bill, there is no doubt that Donald Trump is a master negotiator and is going to apply a lot of pressure in all the right places in his attempt to achieve victory with the Congress. Here's an excerpt from the Washington Post describing Trump's closed-door meeting with some of the members of Congress. The president addressed a closed-door meeting of House Republicans days before the measure is expected to come for a vote on the House floor. Trump used both charm and admonishment as he made his case, reassuring skittish members that they would gain seats in Congress if the bill passed. and singling out Republican Rep. Mark Meadows, the chairman of the hardline House Freedom Caucus, in front of colleagues. I'm going to come after you, but I know I won't have to because I know you'll vote yes, Trump said. According to several Republican lawmakers who attended the meeting, honestly, a loss is not acceptable, folks. Though this meeting was behind closed doors, I have acquired a brief video clip.
I get nowhere unless the team wins.
Team.
Wow, not sure if that was Mark Meadows, but my condolences to that congressman's family. The president had some opposition in both the House and the Senate from principled conservatives who ran on the repeal of Obamacare. Here's Rand Paul to dispel the idea that this bill was what voters might have had in mind when they pulled the lever for those promising to repeal the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, the problem is as we as conservatives ran on repeal of Obamacare, I was elected in 2010, right after it came into place, to repeal it. We never ran on a replacement of Obamacare Light. We never ran on making the entitlement subsidies permanent. We never ran on an individual mandate or keeping the taxes or keeping the Medicaid expansion. We didn't run on that. And so they're really flat out false in telling us, oh, you guys ran on this plan. None of us ran on this plan. We ran on repealing Obamacare because it doesn't work. They're going to repeal part of it and leave in place all of the stuff that causes your insurance rates to go through the roof.
There is an uphill battle for those on both sides of this contentious issue. That's all for now. Until the next video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.